Welcome to your specialised hypnosis session from hypnotherapistdirect.com. My name is Darren Marks. I'm a hypnotherapist, master practitioner of NLP and trainer of hypnosis and hypnotherapy. It is important that you never use this recording while driving or operating machinery. In order to get the maximum benefit, I strongly recommend using stereo headphones and finding a quiet, comfortable space where you will be undisturbed and can focus and concentrate totally. Sadness is one of the basic negative emotions which all human beings experience. In fact, all of us experience the emotion of sadness for the first time before we are 7 years old in what psychologists term the imprint period. It may be that later on in life we experience the emotion more intensively as a result of situations that arise, but the very first time we feel the emotion of sadness itself will always be before the age of 7. In order to let go of sadness from the past, we are going to use a process which involves looking at your life in the form of a timeline. Books and films have timelines, and so do our lives when we look at them in a progressive way, like using a calendar. There is no right or wrong way of going about it, but if I was to ask you, for example, where your past was and where your future was, I would expect you to say something like, "My past is behind me," or "My future is ahead of me." It tends to come out in people's language, so some people say things like, "Time is on my side," or "The future's looking up," or "Way down there in the dim and distant past." The point is, we are on a journey, a path through life, and there is a direction to that journey. So, assuming that there is a path and there is a direction, I would like you to imagine your own personal timeline and notice its direction. You cannot get this wrong. It's just the way that you do it and perceive things personally, and I would like you to do that now. When you let go of sadness from the past, this doesn't mean that you won't feel that emotion ever again, because if something sad happens in the future, you will feel that emotion. What it does mean is that in the future you will react in proportion to the situation you find yourself in. For the person who hasn't let go of their past sadness, a small thing can be like the straw that breaks the camel's back and result in an inappropriate or over-the-top experience of sadness. When we begin, I will be asking you to recall your earliest memory of sadness, which will be within that imprint period before the age of 7. The most common concern that people have before embarking on a process like this is that they won't remember the right thing. However, my experience is that people usually end up surprising themselves. All I can ask of you is that you trust that your unconscious mind will provide you with exactly the right scenario or sensation at the right time. Even if it seems strange or absurd, just trust that the first thing that comes to mind is the right moment to focus on. In a way, it doesn't even matter whether the memory is real or not. What's most important is that your brain has something to focus on which will allow you to gain the necessary insights to let go of the sadness. In my opinion, one of the reasons that people hold on to sadness or any negative emotion is because they think that if they let the emotions go, they will forget whatever it is that they were supposed to know as a result of feeling that emotion in the first place. Which isn't true. It is possible to preserve the learnings and let go of the sadness. If your sadness was connected to grief over the loss of a loved one, it will be important that you satisfy your inner mind that the memories will be preserved in order to truly release the emotion. It is, of course, all right to feel sadness and grief at the loss of a loved one for a certain period of time. But if many years later that feeling of sadness is still raw...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?